Most people work 40 hours a week just to pay interest to a bank that wouldn't even buy them lunch. The truth is, you're not building your own life. You're spending your best years working to build a third vacation home for a billionaire you will never meet. If that hits hard, good. That means you're finally paying attention. Most people are drowning in high-interest trash debt, while the top 1% uses the same banking system to buy assets that pay for themselves. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the psychological traps designed to keep you broke, and I'll show you how to turn your debt from a noose into a weapon. Level 1. The parasite stage, why you're drowning. The first stage of debt is what I call the parasite. About 30% of people live here, and it's pure survival horror. This is the world of payday loans, credit cards with 29% interest, and borrowing from your own family just to pay rent. Every dollar you earn is already claimed. Before it even touches your hand, you're not an earner. You're a host. For a corporate parasite, it's like trying to put out a house fire by pouring gasoline on it. And here's the truth. The system is built to keep you here. Fees, penalties, flexible payments that quietly chain you tighter. If you're stuck in this swamp, stop looking for investment tips. You're not investing. You're bleeding out. Right now, there is only one mission. Stop the bleeding. Stop creating new wounds. Because there is no strategy on Earth that can outrun a 30% interest rate. Your only job is survival until the parasite no longer feeds on you. 2. The dopamine trap, buying rich to stay poor. There's a sick glitch in the human brain. When your net worth is screaming in the red, your brain tricks you into wanting to feel wealthy. This is the dopamine trap. When you feel financially insecure, you crave the instant hit of an upgrade. You go out and finance the latest iPhone or a new pair of sneakers on a credit card because the hit of dopamine numbs the terror of your empty savings account. You're choosing short-term satisfaction to paralyze long-term responsibility. Banks know this. They target people in the red zone because they know you're the most vulnerable to temptation. They wrap your chains in shiny packaging and call it zero down. Every time you buy something you can't afford to impress people who don't care, you're trading your future freedom for a 3-second high. Stop lying to yourself. 3. The treadmill illusion, paycheck to paycheck luxury. Welcome to level 2, the treadmill. This is where 60% of people live. On the outside, you look successful. You have the nice SUV, the suburban house, and the branded clothes. But behind the scenes, you're sprinting just to stay in the same place. You're one medical bill or one layoff away from total collapse. You aren't in a stable. You're just on a machine that hasn't sped up yet. You're spending every cent you make to maintain the illusion of a middle-class life. This is the most dangerous stage because it feels comfortable. The treadmill is fueled by trash debt, loans for things that lose value the second you use them. You're paying interest on a car that's depreciating by 15% a year. Mathematically, you're paying the bank for the privilege of becoming poorer. It's a high-end cage, and the bars are made of your own monthly payments. 4. The War Zone Declaration of Independence. To get out, you have to enter Level 3, the War Zone. This is where you stop being a victim and start being a soldier. The first step is non-negotiable. Build a firewall. A tiny, untouchable emergency fund. This isn't for investing. It's so that when the car breaks down, you don't reach for that plastic card again. Once the firewall is up, you launch the avalanche method. You list every debt and attack the one with the highest interest rate. With everything you've got, you pay the minimum on everything else, but you hunt down that credit card debt like it's a personal enemy. It's brutal. It means no vacations, no fancy dinners, and no upgrades. It's a war, and in war, you sacrifice comfort for territory. You're reclaiming your cash flow. Until that interest is gone, you don't own your income, the bank does. 5. The pivot when debt becomes productive. Here is the twist that separates the wealthy from the debt-free. Staying out of debt is just stopping the bleeding. It keeps you from dying. But it doesn't make you rich. A zero balance sheet doesn't build an empire. Once the trash debt is dead, your relationship with the bank has to change. You stop being their lunch and start being their partner. This is level 4 productive debt. The rich don't fear debt. They respect it as a tool. Productive debt is when the profit of the asset you buy is higher than the interest on the loan. It's taking a mortgage on a rental property where the tenant pays the bank for you. It's borrowing to scale a business or a skill that increases your earning power. You're using the bank's money to build your castle. 6. The lifestyle inflation, the silent assassin. Just when you start winning, a new enemy appears. Lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, a bonus, or your business takes off. Your brain says, I deserve the bigger house. This is the silent assassin of wealth. You take that productive debt and accidentally turn it into a golden cage. You buy a mansion that you don't need, and suddenly you're back on the treadmill, just at a higher altitude. You're still a slave to the paycheck. It's just a bigger paycheck. True wealth is the gap between your income and your ego. If you keep your ego small while your income grows, you buy your freedom. If you let your ego grow with your income, you're just a more expensive slave. Twist. Did you know that for the world's wealthiest, paying off a loan is actually considered a financial mistake? While you're celebrating being debt-free, the billionaires are intentionally staying in debt to save millions in taxes and outpace inflation. Stay with me, because the math I'm about to show you will make your brain hurt. 7. Arbitrage, the elite game of free money. Welcome to level 5, the unicorn stage. This is called arbitrage. Let's say you have $1 million. A level 3 thinker would pay off their house to have peace of mind. An elite thinker keeps the 3% mortgage and invests that $1 million into a low-risk fund, returning 7%. The bank is charging them 3%, but they are earning 7%. The 4% difference is free money. They are literally being paid by the bank to live in their own house. This isn't an opinion. It's cold, hard mathematics. They aren't working for the money. The spread is working for them. They have no emotion about debt. They only care about the cost of capital. If the money costs less than it earns, they take as much as they can get. 8. Wealth lending, the great tax escape. The ultimate secret of the 1% is wealth lending. This is how the ultra-rich buy yachts without paying a cent in income tax. They don't sell their stocks to get cash selling triggers taxes. Instead, they use their massive stock portfolio as collateral to take out a line of credit from the bank. Because it's a loan, it's not taxable income. They use the bank's money to buy real estate, which then generates more cash flow to pay back the interest. Their original stocks stay in the market, growing at 8% or 10%, while they pay the bank 4% or 5%. They are multiplying their wealth using the same debt system that is currently crushing you. They've turned the noose into a ladder. 9. The margin call, the cliff's edge. But don't get cocky. Playing at level 5 is like walking a tightrope over an abyss. If the market crashes, the bank won't wait for you. They'll trigger a margin call. They will seize your assets and sell them at the bottom of the market to cover their loan. You can lose everything, including your original capital, in a single afternoon. This is why you cannot use elite strategies with a parasite mindset. You need a high tax bracket, high-quality assets, and extreme discipline before you ever touch a strategy like this. Applying level 5 moves to a level 1 life is financial suicide. You have to earn the right to use the bank's weapons. 10. The audit taking back your mind. The final step isn't about your bank account. It's about your head. You need to perform a debt audit. Look at every payment you make and ask, is this a ladder or a noose? If you're paying for things that are rotting or rusting, you're a slave. The banking system has studied your psychology. They know you crave dopamine when you're stressed. They've designed a world to keep you on that treadmill. The only way off is to stop building someone else's dream and start building your own. You have to be willing to look poor for 5 years so you can be wealthy for 50. The conclusion: financial abundance isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you control. Stop being the lunch for the billionaire's bank. Declaration of war starts today. Build your firewall, kill your trash debt, and start viewing every dollar as a soldier that either works for you or dies for someone else. If this video felt like a slap in the face, you're exactly who needed to hear it. Comment soldier if you're declaring war on your debt today. If you want the step-by-step on how the elite actually structure their systems to avoid the treadmill entirely, watch this next video. The game is rigged, but only if you don't know the rules. Stop drifting. Start dominating. See you in the next one.